Okay, so we want to do number 15. We have A, B, and C graphs. And what are we supposed to do?
Figure out if they're
Find the domain and range?
Function, yeah.
Okay, so what's the domain? Do we remember those words?
what you put in, the input.
Okay, so the domain is the set of inputs, right? And the range is the outputs. Okay, so I'm looking at these guys. Where's this from, by the way? This is 8.1.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm supposed to find domain and range for each of these. I should remember something about graphs. So what's the thing about a graph? The graph of a function is pairs that are, it's a set of points. X and f of x, or input and output, right? So you might look at this and think input, output. Okay, so I'm looking at these things and I'm thinking to myself, okay, where are the inputs? Those are the horizontal things, right? You guys see that? So I want to know about the horizontal thing, so I should just take my picture and smush and wonder where my graph ended up. You guys see that? So if I kind of think, all right, smushing, right, this way, I'm going to get here, 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 and here, right? Those are my inputs. What are my outputs?
The y-axis.
Yeah, those are smushed the other way, right? So that's wondering, really there's just this one output, right? You guys all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I better read off the picture what the inputs are and what the output is. So I didn't do that. Can you guys tell me? What's the domain?
-2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's like our 7 favorite points, right? And the range on that one?
2.
Oh. 2. Okay, so that's, I should have put tick marks, right? So there's my tick marks, and here's my tick marks. Cool. All right. How about on this guy? Where are my inputs? Whoa.
They're negative pi.
Oh, okay. So this is minus pi over here,
Yeah.
and this is
Pi.
pi, and everything in between gives me an output, right? You see that? So these are my inputs, the stuff from minus pi to pi.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how do I write that? Oops, that's not a range. What is it?
Domain.
Okay, it's a domain. And how do I write that?
Is it going to be a
Is it
bracket or
negative? Yeah, bracket.
No parentheses.
It would
Was
be
it
a
parentheses?
bracket
Was it a
because it's
dot
a
or was it a fill dot?
It's not.
Yeah, okay, so I know at the very least it's going to look like this, right? Yeah. Okay, everybody's on that?
Yeah.
All right, now there's square bracket or round bracket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it an open?
So this dot is an open circle in the book.
So then
Does that mean
then
I
it
want
would
a
be a-
parenthesis or a bracket?
parentheses?
Parenthesis, why? What does the parenthesis mean?
It's
It's
not
just
even-
greater than.
Awesome, not including. Perfect, or strictly greater than. And then on the other side, I want a
Bracket.
Bracket.
closed bracket. Why?
Stops.
Because that dot's filled in and I want to include that, right? Pi has an output. I know what to do with pi when I feed it into this function. Does that make sense? All right, how about the range? What's the range?
Lowest and the highest.
Okay, I have to know the lowest and the highest point, right? These guys?
Yeah.
So those are probably -1 and 1.
Correct.
Make it easy.
You guys know how I knew that?
Because you probably recognize it.
No, I recognize the function. This is a trig function from the trigonometry class.
Huh.
They look like oscillation. There's a good reason for that. So, what do I do?
Close brackets, -1 and 1.
Yeah, I want to kind of smash this, and I want to ask, is there an input that attains the output 1 and -1? Yeah, sure. This input here gives me that output there, right? And this input here gives me that output there. That's cool, huh? So my range is -1 to 1 with, wait, what kind of brackets did we just say? Closed brackets, because those are actually in there. Cool. So that was smushed this way, right? Take a picture. Look. Okay, so how about this guy? Where's this point? Okay. -2, you said? Okay. That point's presumably at 2. Okay. How high is the 10? 2. All right. So now I want to know about my domain and range. So what do I do? You're on for domain, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the domain, I ask, what are the inputs that work, right? So that's me smushing this way. And I get what? Starting here and going that way, right? So all that stuff.
Close bracket. -2.
Yeah, and this is closed, right? So how do I write that as an interval?
Close bracket, -2.
Close bracket, -2.
Comma.
Infinity.
Infinity.
You close bracket?
No.
Parentheses.
Parentheses.
Although it would be great to be equal to.
Can you put a closed bracket on an infinity? Does that make sense?
Maybe in future math.
Probably not even that.
Okay.
There's one discipline in which that makes sense, but not many. So this bracket's usually open because infinity is not a part of the real number system, right? We'd have to move to a kind of different place where we thought of infinity as a number for that to be closed. That would be a bit bizarre. Oops. What else?
Range.
Range? Okay, which way do I smush to get a range?
An accordion.
This way? Okay, so I get this stuff.
So that would be.
Okay,
Close
so that looks like
bracket 2.
from 2 to
Negative infinity. Right?
like this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Switch.
No,
No, no, why not?
because negative infinity is gonna be.
Oh, it's in front.
Yeah, these have to be listed in order, right? Negative infinity is smaller than 2, so this is actually not right. There's nothing in that. There's nothing between 2 and negative infinity. Things are between negative infinity and 2. So we should write this way. Cool. Open bracket at negative infinity. Why?
You can have equal to infinity.
Yeah, because it's not a number, so you can't be equal to it, right? It's never going to be included. And then why did the bracket on the 2 get closed?
Is that the-
That's the highest.
It includes that number.
And that's the highest.
Why does it include that number? What's an input that gives you the output of 2?
0, 2.
0 gives you the output 2. You guys see that? Right? If I look at this point up here, this is the point 0, 2, which I'm reading as an input, comma, output pair. Cool? All right. Did I answer your question?